Hello and welcome to Rule of Three's video review for Borderlands 2, a first-person shooter role-playing game from Gearbox Software. With us today we have Sinister Dreamer, one of our head writers at rule3.com. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing great, and we also have with us a special guest reviewer since we do not have impressions with us, is Bakumusha. How's it going?
Pretty good. Really enjoying the game so far.
That's good. So like I said, we're gonna be talking about Borderlands 2. It's a pretty fun game. We're gonna start off with talking about the differences from the first game. The first major difference that I caught on was the addition of what's called badass points, which replaced the gun leveling system in the first one. How do you guys feel about that system?
I love it. With that system coming in, it makes it ability to really customize your gameplay, because the fact that you can choose what elements you want to add to the characters to have, gun accuracy or gun reload or all the stuff that you have in game.
My favorite part is the fact that it gives insane amount of replayability to the game itself, not just the same character playing on walkthrough 2, but the other characters as well. Like I'm playing around with I started as the commando and I switched over to just playing around with the siren, and just starting out is a vast improvement when I started out with just the commando.
Right. Yeah, I also like the addition of the badass points. It does add a whole new level of customization. It allows me to focus. I'm playing. My main's an assassin. In the video you're watching, I'm a Gunzerker, and I'm terrible with him. But as my assassin Zero, it's pretty fun. But it's just, I don't know. It adds a lot more depth to the game, in my opinion, because I'm not just putting the points in the talent trees. It's now like, okay, I have 5 choices to choose from. Do I want to increase shields, increase health, do more damage, or reload faster, whatever. So I felt that it was one of the most positive changes coming from, or that they did in Borderlands 2. Other than that, the only other change that I can personally think of is I thought the game was more difficult than the first.
I agree. In the first one, I'll maybe die on a boss once or twice if I'm having bad luck or I'm off my game. This one, I took a break for a few days because the boss fight was so infuriatingly hard.
Well, the one thing I noticed is the fact that they actually keep the enemies within your level difficult. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna go into the area, lull around, and kill everything. No, you go in and it's like you're pretty much facing an actual second person. It's like it's like if you were on like World of Warcraft doing PvP.
Right. Yeah, but like I just felt a little more difficult, which is good. I like the difficulty level. I thought it was really good. And then the only other difference is, another kind of big topic is the changes to the classes. It's still the same 4 basic. You have, the Berserker's now the Gunzerker. You still have the Siren. You still have your Assassin, and then you have the Soldier class. And they work fairly similar to how they worked in 1, but they've been tweaked a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
They do have their tweaks. They have kind of like they have like merges from the difference from 1, because you have like the Siren, who she's not really like the Siren in 1.
Nope.
That's where Zero comes in, because he has the cloak ability like Lilith had in 1, where she can phase out of existence and then phase back in, where he cloaks and decloaks and cloaks back in. So it's like they just kind of mashed a couple of the characters together and gave you new characters.
It pretty much also took most of the, in fact, all the support abilities except for aggro from the commando, and gave it all to the Siren, all the healing and ammo regen. But this has made the commando at sustained DPS like you cannot imagine. The Gunzerker peaks like, oh, he's doing average. Oh my god, he's doing amazing. But the commando is always at a really high peak of DPS.
Yeah, I can agree with that, because my main is a commando, and it's just like, once I threw my turret out, it's just like DPS doesn't change. It's still, things are dying as quick as I was killing them before.
The best thing about the turret is the fact that it now has like an aggro system where they focus on the turret, which allows me to just hide behind a box and heal, or run behind the box and just spam nades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about my DPS. All I know is I just line up headshots on my guy and just everything dies in one shot. Because that's how I play it. But yeah, no, the classes are a little like they're different. But I've only played the 2. I haven't played Soldier, so I don't know what the heck you guys are talking about on that one. But I know for at least Siren, because I remember when this game came out, I'm like, oh, where am I gonna play my Siren again? But they got rid of my tree, which was, I want a lot more elemental gun damage, and they got rid of that for the most part. It's not really in there.
It's there, but it's
not as
only a light
powerful.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as powerful as it was in 1.
Well, because they more or less focus around now her the phase lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
her
where you do
single
most of your
target
damage.
CC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You phase lock someone, you just unload, and they're like dead.
Yeah, I do like that. I was playing with my wife. She's playing a Siren, and she has phase lock, and that makes this game so much easier.
Yeah, the
For
best
single.
person if you're not playing a Siren, the best person you want to be co-playing with is Siren.
Yeah, I love Sirens, and I can't play them now, but I love Sirens in my group. So the next thing that we're going to go into is I want to talk about the storyline, because that's also kind of a difference from 1. 1 didn't really have a solid storyline. It was more go to this quest hub, do some quests, go to this quest hub, and it just had the overlay of, you're looking for the vault. This one has a lot more story to it.
Well,
In
yeah.
the
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. In the first game, the biggest problem with the story was it was unfocused. Partially because they scrapped the original story idea in the original game halfway through production. And when they started, they didn't know if they wanted to be full hilarity or full serious or mixed. So you had, moments of extreme destitute and suck, and then moments of, wow, that was really funny. And they've noticed that the people liked it very funny, so that's what they did with the DLC, and this game continues that. And the story is also far more structured and tight. You feel the progression of the story rather than it just happens randomly, as it did in the first one.
Oh yeah, that was the one big thing with this game was they focused on, okay, let's connect this with one's kind of debauchery of the story where they were just kind of like, okay, well, you're vault hunters, you're going to look for a vault. They just tied everything together with this game because just playing around, there's just little things that you pick up or listen to or just quests in general that link back to 1 and all their DLC, which then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense now, and that's why that happens.
Yeah. Well, it also helps that they have Handsome Jack, every 30 seconds calling you and insulting you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best villains of the last 10 plus years in video gaming. He makes you both love and despise him at the same time.
He's awesome. Yeah, some of my favorite lines in the game.
So yeah.
The hilarity in this game is just off the charts.
Speaking of hilarity, let's talk about how funny this game is, because Gearbox, with the first one, it was pretty funny. This one is so much better.
On a just if you could rate the humor in this game, I'd say it's over a 10, because they just top themselves.
Yeah, it's not like other games that aim to be funny, like Gex, which has funny moments, but overall it's just a lot. It's just throwing darts at a dartboard and see what sticks. This one is just, it's so well constructed humor that it feels real at the same time. Like, while these people are over the top, people who I do anyways, that people that would act like that in that given situation.
Yeah.
Given the limitations of the world about not being able to die very easily and such.
Right. I mean, the closest thing, at least humor from this game, the only other game I can think of that, in the same ballpark is, Portal.
Yes.
That definitely, Portal has more of a British dry wit about it, and it fits that game very well.
Right.
This fits its humor very well as well, and that's a credit to both teams.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. It's just, the humor of the world is just so, it fits the game perfectly. And I don't know, like Claptrap, Lilith, and all, like, some of the returning characters, especially Handsome Jack. Every time I see Handsome Jack show up, I'm like, yes, thank you.
Talk some more, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I remember...
Especially, I have to say, Lilith's commentary whenever you either meet her or hear a recording of her, it just makes me laugh because, honestly, she sounds like a kid on a very high sugar high, and then all of a sudden crashes.
Well, you've guys done the you guys did the fire cult quest line, right?
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, that was hilarious.
yeah. This
'Cause
sucks the tits.
and then she keeps going back and forth like, oh, these guys are sick. Oh, it's so sweet, and she's so split personality.
Well, because she has that high of like, oh my god, these things are so great, and then just can I have more? Okay, great, let's keep going.
Yeah, and her whole interaction with Roland
Yeah.
from the echo recordings is adorable.
Their relationship is just hilarious.
Yeah, no, they did a good job on that. And it's not, I mean, we're talking about conversation, but there's tons of hidden Easter eggs that are pretty funny to find.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one that everyone's talking about is the Minecraft one.
Yes.
Go through my Steam folder and there it is, and I make jokes about Minecraft jokes. But yeah, it's small. The creepers will kill you though.
Yeah.
They explode if you have to have really high shields and really high health not to die in one hit.
Well, yeah. When you get to the Minecraft area and the creepers, they're just like grenades just going off at your feet, like a suicide psycho.
I could survive a suicide psycho drop. That I screwed up and I was dropped to 1 hit point.
Oof.
Yeah, but between these and like Doctor Who, Yu-Gi-Oh references, I mean, there's just a ton of just Easter egg references. If you find they're a pleasure. I always
They're
like
fun.
stumbling upon them.
And it's
Yeah.
right out the gate too. One of the first references is Doctor Who. Claptrap mutters LONZ, and that's within the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yep.
And so when I was playing with my friends on PC version, that when he said LONZ, everyone in the group's like, "It begins."
And then the last thing we want to talk about is multiplayer, since that's where we're going to be giving our scores here in a little bit. Multiplayer is the same as from Borderlands 1 for the most part. I feel that it adds to the experience of this game. You guys?
Totally. It vastly improves the experience for the PC, because the original one you had to sign up for GameSpy and then go through GameSpy. But in this game, because it's available through Steam, when you pause the game, you're given a list of all your friends in Steam that are in game, whether or not you can join them or request them to join. And it's not like normally in a Steam game you have to shift tab to open up the Steam menu. This, you just press escape in game and it's right there, and you can jump in and out of games. It is a breeze and it makes it so much more fun.
Yeah.
Which that's a good thing, considering you played the PC, because for like me and Roy, we're on PS3, and for the PS3, either when you're on the main screen, it shows you and however the 3 extra slots that you can do split screen, and then your whatever friends on your friends list who are playing, that you can just either jump in or invite them to your own game.
Yeah.
And you can do the same thing, you can just pause the game and it'll do the same show of, okay, well, here's you doing what mission and what your level, and then, well, here's your friend at this level doing this quest.
Yep.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. It definitely for gloating rights for me, because I'm the furthest along out of all my friends by a long shot.
Yeah. No, like I said, the multiplayer is really well integrated into this one. I was really happy with it, because this could have gone one of 2 ways, and it went the way I was hoping it would go, and it's easy to use and it's accessible.
And how the classes bounce off each other just improves that multiplayer experience too.
Yeah, like I said,
yeah.
Siren and my assassin is amazing, but if you have one of every class in a game, it's pretty fun. All right, so with that, we're now going to give the game our multiplayer scores, which should be different than our single player scores. If not, then obviously they're about the same. We'll start with myself. I'm going to give the multiplayer for this game 8 out of 10. I thought there's some lag issues and a couple other things, but it's pretty solid. It's fun. Sinister?
I give it a 9.
All right, and Baku?
I'd give it for the PC version an 8.5, mainly because almost all of my friends have connection issues. They say that they're going to be fixing it in a coming patch, but as it is out of the box score, be an 8.5 because of these connection issues.
All right, so there you go. You got an 8 from myself, Roy. You got 9 from Sinister and 8.5 from Bakamusha. And that's it. Next video we will be doing is a special Resident Evil 6 thing. We'll have tons of coverage on that. So keep an eye out for that and, after its release. And thanks for listening.